most of the time they are glued to their phones. And when I reprime them, or when any one of our parents reprime them, it's hard to tell. Becoming AI native doesn't mean replacing human intelligence, and that is one thing that we need to refocus. This has also highlighted about the link between AI and also the health in terms of mental and physical health. Of course, we are living in a world of paradox. As much as we progress, but there are still some challenges. What does it take to be a human? So as we navigate a world where AI and human interaction is on the rise, it has become increasingly necessary. We need to prepare our children for real-world challenges, for job and innovations. And this is where I would like to pitch in the importance of it is my privilege to share this platform with my co-panelists. Begin with a parent who shared her concern with me. So she was saying that I am facing difficulty sometimes when it comes to dealing with my children. They hardly show emotions and they hardly communicate. When they come back from schools, most of the time they are glued to their phones. And when I reprime them, or when any one of our parents reprime them, it's hard to tell whether they are sad, whether they are angry, whether it affect them, or whether they are unaffected. And this lack of reactions or expressions terrifies me a lot. And I believe that this is not just a concern for parents, but it is also a concern for many of the teachers because of the generations gap. And if we look at the teachers, students, in most cases, like 80–90% of the teachers will belong to the next generations, and most of the students that are taught now belongs to what we call Gen Z, Gen Beta. So this is one example that I would like to highlight. And before I continue with it, at the onset, I just would like to point out that becoming AI native doesn't mean replacing human intelligence. And that is one thing that we need to refocus on it, because there are lots of we come across so many debates, news where people share their thoughts that it is threatening that AI is going to overtake us, or maybe it's going to overtake us in terms of our thinking. But at the end of the day, what I would like to say is that AI doesn't mean replacing human intelligence, and they are two different things. If we look into it, the reality is that we are all exposed to it, and then none of us want to be left behind. So the thing that we need to contemplate rather is, in what capacity will technology undo human capacity to think, to feel, and what challenges will it pose in the future, and how are we to respond to such changes, and how do we bridge between human and AI gap. So to list some of the pertinent challenges could be, in course of time, we might, if we don't balance it out, we might over rely on AI, especially among students. They will rely on AI to do their assignments, homework, and then this will diminish their critical thinking skills, and also there are challenges that is creeping up in today's world in terms of academic dishonesty. So there is a need to think along how to balance, or how to come up with a balanced approach to AI integrations, especially in our academic. So the question is, how do we ensure that it complements rather than replace human interactions and critical thinking? So coming to what we call balanced technology, how much is too much? How do we go about setting screen time limit? How do we go about practicing this digital detox? And how much is used for learning rather than for entertainment? And also my co-panelist has also highlighted about the link between AI and also the health in terms of mental and physical health. Of course, we are living in a world of paradox as much as we progress, but there are still some challenges like in terms of poverty, in terms of environment degradations despite the advancements that we have in technology. So as of now, we have a sedentary lifestyle despite smart device in our hand and pertaining coming to information diet or information's accuracy. How much information that we gather from AI is accurate, and over reliance on AI for decisions making, for content generation, so on and so forth can potentially lead to what we call cognitive disengagements. And most of the challenges that we are facing now, especially among the young generation, is that it disturbs their sleeping pattern. So at the night, it is at night time that most of our youngs or most of our children are exposed to blue light before they sleep. And coming to one of the most important is human interactions. A key challenge is to ensure how do we integrate AI and to complement our learning rather than to replace our thinking capacity. So of course, AI provide us with automatic contents. It provides us data, and it has given us insight to it. But at the same time, AI is a machine learning, and it lacks what we call empathy, creativity, and the understanding of the nuanced reality of what it means to be a human. As my first co-panelist has also highlighted, what does it take to be a human? So as we navigate a world where AI and human interaction is on the rise, it has become increasingly necessary to view academic excellence not just in terms of cognitive learning. It is education should be holistic in terms of what we call, it should be integrating about knowledge, values, and equipping the children and the younger generations with necessary life skills, what we call holistic and quality education beyond textbook, which even our new education policy has emphasized and recognized the importance of it. So we need to prepare our children for real world challenges, for job and innovations. And this is where I would like to pitch in the importance of skill development, as well as the importance of streamlining life skills educations into our regular curriculum to build the resilience of our generations, at the same time, one that will help them to be in touch with their humanness, what it means to be human, that is their emotions. And this attribute, I believe, is what distinguishes us from animals at the very first place. So resilience is nothing but the ability to bounce back from setback and challenges. So when we say that I am resilience or our children is resilience, to be able to bounce back from their setback and challenges, it requires enormous emotional health. And this is where emotional intelligence comes into play. It involves understanding and managing their own emotions, at the same time empathizing with others. And this is what differentiates us from animals and human beings, from machines to being a human, to be able to empathize with others. So coming to equipping students at the first and the foremost is like what I have mentioned, like streamlining life skills education as a part of our regular curriculums, where students could learn about how to solve their problems, teamwork, communication skills, critical thinking, at the same time self-assess themselves, maybe through SWOT analysis or through Zohari window. And also in schools, we could come up with entrepreneur projects where students, depending upon their area of interest, they could be introduced maybe to mushroom cultivations or maintaining kitchen garden, fishery, poultry, so on and so forth, to make students understand where does their food come from and what it means to eat a healthy organic food. And also about focusing more on self-finance project. For example, here at NASO, what they develop is where students are allowed to come up with their own project, with on their programs, where they mobilize fund, for example, for study tour and for rural camp, where students their funds by selling tea on the street or by doing some kind of entrepreneurs activities to pay for their tours, to pay for their camps. And this not only enhance among the students to value, to value money, and also it teach them how difficult it is to earn even 1 rupee. So under the scorching sun of the Marburg, they have to go and sell. They have to meet different officials, and this really enhance their skills in terms of management, in terms of problem solving, in terms of teamwork. That is very important in today's world, and also most important to understand the dynamics of group, what we call group dynamics, and to understand and identify different types of personalities. And also at the end is that every students are, it is made mandatory that every students will undergo counseling once while they are in this campus. And also there is a move where every staff and every faculties are to equip with basic counseling skills, maybe in the area of rational emotive therapy, where they could address the immediate issues that most of the students face. Because in today's context, most of the students, they come to faculty, they come to the staff sharing their difficulties in their personal life rather than sharing their difficulties in academic world. So I would like to end with by sharing a news that was way back in 2023, where the government of Sweden spends lots of euros to transition back from digital to textbook. So what insight did they get? What insight did Belgian government got in order to transition back to the basic textbook? So at the same time, while we are in the throes of, while we are in a generation with AI, how do we integrate? How do we balance? How do we identify and balance use of technology that are undoing the capacity for human being to think? So along with this, we can further have a discussion on it. Thank you so much.